An Indian couple is suing their only son for over $500,000.
Good.
Oh.
For not giving them grandchildren.
$500,000? What are they saying that they put in $500,000 into investing into him just to get a grandson and because they didn't get it?
That's it. That's pretty logical. Damages.
I agree.
You're gonna see Taika if he doesn't give you a kid. He's just like, I just want my kid to have a kid.
Those of you with kids, how do you feel about this?
I don't know. Like, I got one kid, so I only have one chance, I guess. You know?
How much are you gonna sue him for?
And I would never fathom like suing my kid for making a life decision that he wants to make on his own.
So if your son grew up and said, I don't want to ever have kids, it wouldn't affect you at all?
I mean, I'd feel bad because I'd like to have like future generations of my name continue, but I don't think I'd go to the extent of suing my kid.
Yeah, like my dad will be like, oh, you sure you don't want to have more kids? Do you want to have more kids? Because I told him, I didn't tell him we're trying yet, but we're going to try this year. But he was like, you sure don't want to have more kids? It would be nice to have way more grandkids. I'm like, motherfucker, you only had one. why you put pressure on me? If you wanted to have more grandkids.
He's only got one chance.
I'm like, if you wanted more kids, you should have had more kids instead of fucking putting it on me.
And then he's like, yeah, did you see yourself when you were a kid?
That's a lot of pressure.
You wouldn't mind if Taika was like, grew up and didn't want kids?
Yeah, it's up to him.
Well, he's gonna be a gay incel. I mean, wait, he's gonna be a gay incest boy.
Is that said so casual?
He's gonna be a gay incest boy.
You need to elaborate. I still don't know where this is going.
That's it. That's all we're gonna talk about.
That's your plans for him? You're gonna keep him on track?
No, it's because he wants to get married to his cousin.
That's what he identifies with.
Yeah.
So
I'm missing some pieces of this equation.
his boy cousin, he wants to marry him. So that's why. That's his future husband.
Okay. Yeah, when you ask him who do you want to marry, he says, my cousins.
Okay.
And there's 2 dudes.
Gotcha.
So that's what he wants.
Well, at what point will you be like, by the way, you can't do that?
It's funny though, because when you are a kid, you imagine, I gotta spend my whole life with someone. It is the people you have fun with most.
Yeah. Think about how much fun we're gonna have.
But like last, I'm not gonna do it with a girl.
Right.
You know?
And they'll get married and they're practically just roommates.
Yeah.
It's all good.
My best friend is my cousin. And
It's true. If you were asked that, yeah. So this family, they raised him, educated him, only child by the way, and they spent a lot of money to put him through pilot school, all this stuff.
This dude's a stud. Then.
And then when they married him off, I mean, this is a different culture entirely, but yeah, they don't think that that the kid is supposed to not have a kid.
That's crazy.
In India too? Or is it here?
India.
Oh.
that's like for them. It's like, what do you mean you're not gonna have a kid? That's weird.
Yeah.
That's like a human like necessity. You have to have a kid.
But then
I feel like times are changing though. Like in the developed world, the birth rate has gone down significantly, especially since COVID, because everyone's like fearful of like, do I want to raise a kid into the global warming and a pandemic and like job instability kind of like thing. And the developed world, the birth rate is going up because they need some more survivability of their blood. So maybe like what we're finding is like more educated folks are more fearful of raising kids.
They should be.
absolutely, yeah.
I just want more vacations, bro. And I just know that when you got an infant around, that's just not happening.
You're locked down for 18 years.
Yeah. When was it when you realized, oh, we could go on vacations together now, and I don't have to like worry too much about like, I don't know, like when you have a kid, right? And you're just like, okay, there's like the first few years where you're just like crying all the time. You're like, man, I can't even enjoy the fucking beach right now, dude. And then later it goes like, I think we could travel.
I think probably like when Vincent was like 12, but it wasn't actually until just this year when he turned 18 where I'm like, I'm free.
Really?
Yeah.
So when he had his birthday party, you were also celebrating.
I was like, yeah! And we celebrated EDC, and I'm like, I'm dancing out, and I'm like, I'm a free man now.
And he's like, hey, Dad, EDC.
Was there any actual like overnight change between him being 17 and 18? That was like a thing that you were like, oh, when you're 18, this will happen. Did anything new occur? Like where?
I think it's just more of a psychological change in me type of a thing.
So you weren't like, now you got to move out?
No.
Is he gonna commute to school, or he's gonna go or whatever?
So he graduated high school last spring.
Okay.
And then he didn't want to go the 4-year route like his friends did, and he took a course up in SoCal to learn how to fabricate carbon fiber.
Oh hell yeah, that's nice. Trade school stuff.
He just started working for SpaceX a couple weeks ago.
Oh no way.
Making rockets. Yeah. But now
How
for
insane
me,
is that?
that's super, dude. So proud of
You
you.
must be so proud, bro.
So proud of it. But like as a parent now, it's like it went from a perspective of like I would hang out with my son all the time. We go work out because I work from home. We go out for lunch, go out for dinner, go hang out and stuff like that. And now I only see him between the hours of 12 and 2 in the afternoon because his work shift is from 3 p.m. until 2 a.m.
Oh, he's got a graveyard.
That's an interesting work shift.
Dude, that's so funny. So then now he's like the not 9 to 5, but he's got that like gap of like work where he's like disappeared.
He comes home like, Dad, give me a beer.
It's like I tell my friends like I got a roommate now.
That's
That's
cool.
so sick that you could just be like, hey son, can you make me a splitter and a body kit for my Porsche?
Oh yeah, when are you gonna start? When are you gonna start calling in those favors?
I just started calling in all his favors. He like snuck home some, maybe top secret. He snuck home some like scrap carbon fiber from the
I was like, you might not want to say that on. You snuck home like some top secret.
One of Elon's rockets is missing a fin as it's going up. He's like, what happened to the fin?
He's like, oh.
Did you see Eric's Porsche with the fucking fin?
That shit goes fast though, dude.
Eric's Porsche just zooming.
It's a SpaceX on it.
He's like, no, I made this myself. What are you talking about?
Meanwhile, the rocket's just twirling around in the fucking.
all like no.
All of our calculations were correct.
Who stole the fin?
All of our calculations are correct, and then the rocket's like turns, and you see the fin missing, and they're just like,
Why?
It's the new kid
again. You got multiple chances with multiple stolen fins.
That's so tiny.
I feel like I really like kids, like playing with my friends' kids, and like it's always awesome. But then my own, I don't know, man. It just.
What do you
feels like
mean?
having your own? I mean, you don't even have kids. You know what I'm talking about? We're like the same age. It's like, come on, dude. Yeah. I see them and the shit they gotta do. I'm just like, oh, dude, I can't wait to have kids to give away to people.
I don't think that's what you should strive for.
Like a wedding gift.
Congratulations, I birthed you a kid.
It's like a takeaway thing in the centerpiece of the table.
You're just a child.
That back in 18 years, okay?
I was watching like fucking this show Versailles, right? And out there, like, there's no kids in the court. So once a baby, like, they pop out a baby, like, that's it. Like, fucking the princess and the princes, they just get sent away. And then other people take care of that motherfucker. And then they come back later on, you don't even recognize your own kids and shit.
Yeah. That's how you want it?
That's the Jamalian way.
Kinda. Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad, you know? Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
It is, right? And then you have no emotional connection to them. But that's why eventually, you know, when it comes to their turn to reign, that's why they can easily kill you. But I'm down with the praying mantis shit.
You're not really selling this very well.
You don't want to build a vengeance with your kid.
I think this only applies to Joe. I'm like, that's very Joe style.
It is, yeah. It's pretty cool.
For his own seed to kill him and take the throne.
I give you life.
Weird.
Now let me go enjoy the world.
Like his son stabs him in the back, and he's like, "Ah, that makes sense."
Story. So there's this classic book, the Homer's Odyssey, right?
Oh, yeah, Homer's
Odysseus. So Odysseus was raised, and he didn't know who his father was or his mother because they're raised by the court. He ended up falling in love with his mother.
He didn't know it was his mom.
No idea it was his mom. He became a motherfucker. You know, yeah, true story, right? Joe's gonna create the next Odysseus.
That's kind of fire, dude.
I think that'll be pretty interesting to see how it turns out.
Your kids are just science experiments.
I think so.
So here's another little factoid with this family that might make you think differently. They also paid for the son's wedding, bought a car for the son when he got married. So they did a lot of things that
Did he ask for
well, I guess traditionally they're supposed to do that too in that culture.
Oh, and
So
then
I see.
so it's like I'm supposed to have kids because of that.
So he
Because I guess, I mean, not in all Indian culture, but in this particular case, you are marrying off your kid. It's not like, hey, my kid decided to get married. It's like, they still do that style.
the investment.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess if it's
They
like
lost an asset.
all
Right.
like it was all clear and there's an expectation, so every single step leading up to accumulation of 500 grand, I guess so.
Yeah, because what if he from the jump said, "Mom, Dad, I don't want any kids ever," and then they'd be like, "No pilots, no wedding."
Yeah.
But I wonder if this whole time he was telling him like, I don't want kids, and they're like, well, what if you get married? What about now? He's like, I still don't want them.
Yeah.
Where he
Still don't
fucked
want
up? All he had to say was, My balls don't work.
Nah, they would
I'm
fucking
sterile.
check that shit.
Yeah, they would go put him through a test. Yeah,
Like,
If they're gonna sue their kid, they would be like, all right, well, we're gonna go to a clinic right now and double check that.
they would pay for like a surprise cum analyst to just burst in the room,
Gotcha. Come with this cup.
like they do for Olympians with pee.
Yeah,
But instead,
yeah.
it's like
Drug
a
testing?
cum doc, the cum flow doctor. Burst in the room.
I'd love to see that business card, the cum analyst.
The cum analyst.
It's like, why is this business card sticky? Like,
Why is this card sticky?
You're lying. I'll be taking this.
Traditional families that want to sue their children.
I wonder if he tastes cum like a cop does. Like this.
how do cops taste cum?